Dr. Sarah Chen, 58, a cardiologist with a long career. She sits across from her financial advisor of 14 years. He's warm and confident, walking her through her annual review with practiced ease. He points to a chart. You're at an 87% probability of success. That's excellent. He explains the 4% withdrawal rate, talks about diversification, shares some market projections, and the importance of staying the course. He's kind, he's professional, and he genuinely believes she's in good shape. Sarah nods along. On paper, everything looks just fine. But as she drives home, something's nagging at her. She can't name it. She just knows that probably fine has never been good enough for her patients, and she wonders why she's accepting it for herself. A few weeks later, Sarah accepts a LinkedIn connection request. The person who sent it shares educational content about lifestyle retirement planning for physicians, and she starts reading, and the questions, they stop her cold. When you were accumulating wealth, did your advisor ever tell you to sell stocks when they were down? Or did they say, hold on, it'll come back? Or when you had a winner, did they say, hold on to it, you're on a hot streak? So here's the question no one ever asks. When you're retired and you need income, what has to happen? Don't you have to sell shares of stocks to get paid? And if stocks are down, aren't you locking in losses? And if stocks are up, aren't you giving up on your hot streak? Either way, aren't you selling at the wrong time? So would that create anxiety for you? Would it make you spend less just to avoid selling during those times? Would you end up living a lesser lifestyle than you worked 30 years to earn? Now ask yourself this, what if you set aside a portion of your retirement savings to create a stream of income that covers your lifestyle, guaranteed for life, no matter what the market does, no matter how long you live? This is called protected lifetime income. And with that income floor in place, the only time you'd ever need to touch your investments would be for real opportunities or true, probably pretty big emergencies. Not because you're forced to take money from them for income. So now what would happen to your anxiety? Here's something most people don't think about until it's too late. All-in advisory fees, when you add up the advisory fee and the expenses hidden inside the investment choices themselves, they average somewhere between 1.65% and 2% or more per year. So let's just assume, hypothetically, you have $100,000 earning an 8% return 1 year. It's an $8,000 gain. So your ending balance is now $108,000. A 2% fee on $108,000 is $2,160. Now, $2,160 divided by that $8,000 gain is 27% of your annual gain. Now, you might think, wait, Kurt, 2% of 8% is only 25. That's not how it works. That fee is charged on your total balance, not just the gain. Run the actual math, it's 27%. So doesn't that mean your advisor would need to beat the market by up to 27% or more every single year just to financially justify the fee? How many advisors do you think do that year after year after year after year? Now let's assume hypothetically that we scale that balance to $1 million. A 2% fee on $1,080,000 after that 8% up year is now $21,600. Don't you pay fees each and every year? Well, the Lifestyle First Planner isn't securities licensed. He shares with Sarah market-based exchange traded funds, ETFs, have fees as low as 0.03%. On that hypothetical $1,080,000, that's $324 per year. The difference is $21,276 every year. What could you do with the savings from not paying unnecessary fees? Spend it? Let it grow? Shouldn't that be your choice and not your advisor's? If your advisor isn't beating the market by their fees every year, could it make sense to open your own account, invest in market index ETFs, and let it ride like you did when you were working? If your advisor isn't beating the market by up to 27% or more each and every year, wouldn't you likely come out ahead if you were in the market without those high fees hitting you every year? See, most physicians have never even heard of the 6-link tax cascade. Have you? It's a chain reaction that sits inside your pre-tax retirement accounts. Think 401ks and IRAs. And most traditional advisors, they never walk you through it. Now, here's how it works. We're going to use 2026 figures. Link number 1, if you're born after 1959, at age 75, required minimum distributions, RMDs if you will, force higher income. Link number 2, Social Security becomes taxable up to 85% of your benefits. Link number 3 is Medicare IRMAA surcharges that can be triggered. The 2026 threshold is $109,000 for single filers, $218,000 for married filers. Base Part B premium is $202.90 a month. Surcharges for Medicare Part B and Part D push it much higher, anywhere from $1,048.40 to as high as $6,936 per year per person. Link number 4 is the loss of itemized deductions and tax credits as income rises. Link number 5 is the widow's penalty. Once the first spouse passes away, the surviving spouse goes from filing jointly to filing single, typically only losing the lesser of the 2 Social Security incomes, suddenly having less income, yet still pushed into a much higher tax bracket. And link number 6 is the 10-year inherited IRA rule. Your children must empty the entire inherited IRA within 10 years, paying ordinary income tax on every dollar, likely during their peak earning years, easily pushing tax rates up to 40% or more. Now, Sarah sits back from her laptop, something cold settling in her chest. She realizes she has never had anyone explain any of this to her, not once in 14 years. So Sarah schedules a follow-up with her advisor. She comes in with a notepad and asks about 3 things: the 6-link tax cascade, protected lifetime income, and lifestyle first planning. Her advisor's response is defensive and limited. Those aren't standard industry terms, he says. Your plan already accounts for taxes. So when she asks him to walk her through exactly how the 6-link chain reaction would impact her retirement income, he can't do it. When she asks about protected lifetime income as a strategy for creating a guaranteed income floor, he pivots back to her portfolio allocation. When she asks about lifestyle first planning, he becomes visibly uncomfortable. No, he's not a bad person. He's a good advisor doing exactly what he was trained to do. But what he was trained to do doesn't cover what she's asking. Sarah thanks him, stands up, and she drives home in silence. She doesn't fire him. She doesn't say anything dramatic. She just sits with what she now knows. And this part is the hardest. Sarah thinks about her 14-year relationship with her advisor, the birthday cards, the calls when the market dropped, the genuine care he's shown. And then she thinks about something that she's had to do more than once in her medical career. And that is to tell a patient that their previous doctor, who may have been kind and well-intentioned, wasn't using the most current treatment protocols. The relationship length her patient had with her doctor never changed what she had to say. The kindness of the doctor never changed what the patient deserved. She realizes she's now on the other side of that conversation. But it's her retirement on the line, not a patient's health. Loyalty and intellectual honesty, she thinks, are 2 different things. So she opens LinkedIn. She finds the message with the second opinion offer. She schedules a call with the Lifestyle First Planner. Sarah gets on a 15-minute retirement health checkup call with a Lifestyle First Planner. The conversation feels completely different from any financial conversation that Sarah has had before. There's no pitch. There's no charts full of probability scores. The planner opens with a simple question. Would it be okay if I started by asking what's been on your mind? Sarah talks. The planner listens. Then slowly, the planner walks her through the contrast. It seems like you spent your career making decisions based on evidence, not odds. Sarah nods in agreement. The Lifestyle First Planner explains the difference between a plan built on this will probably work and a plan built on this is what you will have is everything in retirement. Protected lifetime income means the income is there regardless of what the market does and how long you and your husband may live. It's not an investment. It's not subject to the sell losers, sell winners trap. It's a foundation. With the income floor secured, the rest of your investments don't have to do the heavy lifting. They can be in low-cost index ETFs that Sarah manages, which means no advisor fees, no forced selling. You're not selling when the market's down because you need income. You're not giving up a hot streak. You can continue to let it ride. That's what you were doing when you were accumulating, right? Now you can do it again. The Lifestyle First Planner walks her through the 6-link tax cascade, 1 link at a time with 2026 figures. He tells Sarah, with the way she has her income set up already, since she followed traditional planning's tax-deferred 401k IRA retirement model, before RMDs even kick in, she's already going to hit a big tax link on 85% of her estimated $75,000 in Social Security. She could be paying from $7,650 if she's in the 12% marginal bracket, and up to $14,025 if she's in the 22% marginal tax bracket, and up to $15,300 in the 24% bracket. And if RMDs push her into the 32% brackets or higher, even more taxes every year. So what would it mean for your lifestyle if just 3 or 4, much less all 6 of those tax link hits came at once in the same year? Sarah's quiet. The Lifestyle First Planner then gently brings up cognitive decline. See, research shows that financial decision making is among the first things affected as we age. A complex portfolio managed under pressure at age 75 or 80 is a very different proposition than managing it at 58. Simplicity isn't just a preference, it's a form of protection. The Lifestyle First Planner asks, what would it feel like to know your income is covered no matter what happens in the market, no matter how long you and your husband live? Sarah pauses. She doesn't have an immediate answer. See, no one has ever asked her that question before. The Lifestyle First Planner says, look, I'm not sure if Lifestyle First Planning is a fit for you, but would it be a bad idea to at least find out what it could look like for your situation? See, I offer a 45 to 60 minute Lifestyle First Planning retirement planning discovery session. There's no pitch, just no pressure, just a conversation. Sarah smiles. For the first time in a long time, she feels like she's on the right track. Now, you might be thinking that this is just another financial pitch, and I completely understand that reaction. Do you feel like you've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance? As a physician, haven't you always relied on evidence before making decisions? Why not do the same for your retirement? What would it mean for your peace of mind to know that your income is protected no matter what the market does, no matter how long you live? Would it be a bad idea to find out what this could look like for you? Look, I'm not sure if it's the right approach for you. So to see if it might be, I'd be happy to offer a 15-minute retirement health checkup call. There's no pitch, there's no pressure, just a conversation. If you'd like to see what evidence-based retirement planning could look like for you, book your 15-minute call in the link below the video, or in the link in the description, or you can email Kurt, Kurt, at kjfinancialonline.com, and we'll get it set up.